Hey everyone, Hammad here. Welcome to my channel, Cloud with Hammad, DIY Cloud Learning to Inspire. For today, our cloud series with AWS, I will be working with AWS site-to-site VPN. In this solution, I will work with AWS command line interface and the console. I will deploy two VPC, EC2, VPN gateway and a customer gateway. I will also establish Ipsec tunneling using OpenSwan tool on Amazon EC2 machine. We will be using Northern Virginia region, which is US East 1. In the end, I will test out the connectivity between the two locations. I've made several videos on VPN. I would encourage you to check out my AWS to Azure site-to-site VPN or AWS Azure point-to-site VPN. But before we get into our deployment, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and share with friends. I would really appreciate that. Now, without further ado, let's go to our notes. All right, so for site-to-site VPN, pretty simple. Basically, we will deploy two VPCs and two EC2s. We'll have a customer gateway in here in EC2, and then we'll have a VPN virtual private gateway here. We'll get the IP from this into customer gateway, and we'll use OpenSwan software. We'll install it in here in EC2 in subnet 2, and then we will basically use the configuration to set up our tunneling, and then we'll test out the connection between the two EC2. Now, without further delay, let's one more thing. I think OpenSwan is an IPsec implementation for Linux. It supports for most of the extension, that is RFC and IETF draft, which is IPsec, including IKEV2, 509 digital certificate, and so I think the website is pretty much simple. You just Google it, openswan.org. You should be able to get a little bit more detail on this. Now, without further delay, let's get to our deployment. Alright guys, so I'm already logged into my AWS management console. You can see all the services listed here. First thing, we're going to start deploying a VPC. There will be two VPC we will be deploying in different availability zone. The subnet should be. So click on your VPC, create VPC, and we will give them a name of main office. I would do 10.10.0.0/16, and this would be a CIDR block. Click create VPC. We will create another VPC, and we will say branch office VPC, and we'll do 10.20.0.0/16. Create. So we got two VPCs now. If I click up here, you should see our two VPCs that I created. One is branch office, one is main office. Subnet, let's create a subnet, and then we'll select, first we'll go main office, and we'll say, I can give any number. I would say main office public subnet. I can put it in any available. So AZ would be, I would say 1. Let's do 1C, which is in 1. If I drop down, you can see that is AZ1. And then CIDR block, I would do 10.10.1.0/24. I would create another subnet. I will select branch office. I would give them a name of subnet for the branch office. First one we had in 1, availability zone 1. I would do it in 6, which is availability zone 6, and that is East 1B. I would do 10.20.0.0, sorry, 1.0/24. And hit create. Two subnets are created. Now I will create internet gateway for it to have internet connection. IGW main office building, create, and as you can see, follow internet gateway is created. You can now attach to VPC. Since this is a main office building, we'll attach it to main office internet gateway. We'll attach it to main office VPC. Good. And then I will create another gateway, and I will IGW branch office building, and I will create attach to branch office. Click attach, and now we have two gateways. Let's go to quickly route table and associate the route table with all those VPCs. So as we already had one in default open, this is where you just need to make sure that the route is showing up. Let's see if I can do main office. Click route, associate any traffic that is coming from 0.00 traffic. Any IP would go to internet gateway, and this is the main office gateway, as we know, MOB, and hit save, close, and then we go to branch office, added route, add route. Any traffic needs to hit internet gateway, select branch office gateway. Okay, so that is done. Okay, one more thing that we want to make sure that in the end of the day, and the end, we will come back when we deploy a virtual private gateway. We'll come back to route propagation. We'll enable the route propagation. So one of the things that we need to go back here once we deploy the internet, virtual private gateway. All right, so this is done. Now we're going to go to our EC2. We'll deploy two EC2 machines. EC2. We will get here, we will launch instance, and first thing we'll use the Amazon Linux 2 64-bit. I'm gonna go a little faster here because we have done this so many times, so if you still need some assistance, feel free to reach out. T3 micro medium, click next. Over here, this is for main office. Make sure subnet main office and IP is enabled so that it can connect. Click next. Storage will leave it same. Tag, you can just give them a name. MOB EC2. We'll create a new main office SC security group. Now what we need to do is we want to make sure that all the ports are open, all the let's say all TCP CIDR block for main office is 10.10.10.10.0.0/16, because this is a main office building machine we're deploying, so making sure that any TCP for this CIDR block can be pingable. UDP traffic, also making sure that ICMP, that is where we can ping any device on that subnet or CIDR block. Click next. Launch. Create a new keep here. I would say main office building, KP, download, save it, and we'll launch it. All right, perfect. While it's launching, we'll create another instance, and this will be in medium, making sure this is branch office. Enable the IP. This is for branch office machine. So we have picked up that CIDR block for branch office network. So this is done. One more thing that I would do is I would select this, and I would also make sure that we are in destination check. We would stop the destination check. So source destination check info. So if I click here, it says source destination checking is performed by EC2 instance by default. Stop source destination checking if you want to allow your instance to handle network traffic that isn't specifically destined for it. For example, we recommend stop source destination checking, for instance, that run service such as network address, translator, routing, or firewall. There's some more detail here, but you know, I think this just defines it. If you have read about this, you would know what I mean. Okay, so we have deployed two machines. One is branch office. EC2. Main office EC2. Now, once this is done, we want to make sure that we log into our branch office and install Swan in there. So I am going to use my favorite tool, which is called MOBA Extreme, and I will log in through this tool. EC2 user, and then go advanced, and I would look for the key pair. I just need to locate where this file is. So I think it's in user desktop, and I just need to look for branch office. Branch office KVM, and click OK. So EC2 user, I misspelled it with EC2, there wasn't any. So go back here, load my PM file, and click OK. Alright, so I'm logged in here. So I would do sudo su and clear. Now the next step is to install I would say Swan. Or maybe what I do is first we should just go back to VPN gateway first. We deploy because it takes time. So let's go there first. So go back here, and then in my VPC I would go to virtual private gateway, create virtual private gateway. I would give them a name of main branch, close, and I will attach it to a VPC, which is main office, attach, and then we'll create a customer gateway. Over here we will give them a name of customer gateway, and then the IP address will be static, and this IP address will be the IP address for the EC2 machine. So branch office is EC2 machine is this one. Copy, go back here, IP address, click connect, and then it's available. Now once that is done, we'll go to site-to-site VPN, and then we will create a VPN connection. Over here we can just give the name of VPN branch, which part you can just say VPN main branch, VPN gateway, which is already there. Customer is already there, which is what we created before earlier. A static IP, I would give them the CIDR block of the branch office, so 10.20.0.0/16. Create, and now it is creating. So it usually takes 5 or 10 minutes to deploy a VPN site-to-site VPN connection. What we'll do is let's go to our EC2 machine and install our Swan. So sudo, we already did, yum install OpenSwan. Yes. It is done. I would clear. So once that is done, then we need to make sure that we need to configure the Ipsec config file. So I think that is in so sudo sudo nano, because you're going to edit it, etc IP I have a small keyboard, so it's a little challenge sometime. All right, so we want to make sure that there is no hash here, the line is not hash, and we include any IP, include etc Ipsec. So this is there. We want to make sure this line is always here, so it says best to add your Ipsec connection. We said *.config, so we're good here. X out. Now we're gonna just go into, I would say, config systemctl. So sudo nano systemctl config file. This is empty. We want to make sure we add all the ports IPv6. So documentation I will provide links in there. I want to make sure that all these things are added here. These are the route. These are in the documentation I will share with you. Hit enter. Also, we're gonna do a AWS configure file. So sudo nano. This is empty. So we want to make sure that we add all the IPs in there. So let's do this. We're gonna copy this here for a second from my notes, and then we'll go here and we'll replace it with the IPs from the gateway. So before we do that, we need to go back and check if our gateway is deployed. So if we go here and we hit refresh, so this takes a little bit time. So once this is done, we will download the configuration. We'll use the IP in our customer gateway, and that's how we're going to connect to the tunnels. To basically, first we'll make sure that it is connected, the VPN service, and then we will make sure we'll configure the tunnels as well. So I am going to pause the video, and then I will come back once this is ready it's ready and it's active. Alright guys, so the VPN tunnel is up. As you can see, it is available. The next thing is, well, VPN connection is up. Tunnel is still down. We need to configure the tunnel for it to work. So once this is done, click on download configuration. download configuration checkpoint, you would select whatever it is. I would do genetic download, and I would save it on the desktop. Open it. And there are a few things. This is section 1. We need this shared key. And then section 3, I think this is 3, tunnel interface. We want to make sure get these IP. So customer gateway IP, that is what you need. Copy this, go back here, and go up here, paste, and then virtual private gateway. Copy this, come here, save. That's it. We'll hit click X, yes, enter, and we're done here. Okay, the next thing is we want to make sure we configure the secret access key. So we will log into aws.secret file. That is also in the sudo nano, I would say etc ipsec.d /aws.secret. This is we have studied in the exam as well, so make sure you have that. Secret, and then over here we want to make sure we have IPs. Copy this, space, and then colon, pre-shared key, and I would do pre-shared key. We had this here. Copy this. Go back to and click enter. X, yes. So if 10 cat nano etc ipsec dot d dot, and then this is what we have it in the system. All right, so we clear this out, and then we will start the network. So for that is, I think it's a service restart. Okay, this network is restart. I will check IPsec. Auto on, enabled, and then I would say let's do a service start. So check the service status. So I would say status, and now you can see that it's working. It's loading secrets for tunnels, all the information in there. So that about it. So once that is done, what we'll do is we'll go back here. Let me see if I can, and then first we will just check whether it's already up now or not, but we just loaded it, so it takes good 5 minutes for this just to come back up. Once that is done, we will just go to the route table and enable the gateway. So I'll show you in a second. In the moment, I'm just going to pause the video, and then I will come back once the tunnels are up. All right guys, so tunnel is still not up. We're just going to go back to EC2, and we will go back to VPC first we'll go back to route table, and then we'll try to propagate the route for branch office. So click here, sorry, main office. Save. Go back to site-to-site VPN, and you can see the tunnel is up already. All right, so I think this is good. We're just going to try to ping the machine and see how that works. Clear. All right, so what we'll do is we'll try to log into our main office building and then try to ping our branch office from there. So click on main office, copy the IP, go back here, and I would say EC2 user. Just need to find where the file is. Main office building. Okay. And then we are logged in. Sudo su clear, and then we're gonna go to branch office local IP. So this is the public, we already logged in, and now we are connecting to 10.20, which is so we already remoted into this machine. We're gonna ping this IP from our machine, which is this is our main office, this is branch office. So let's do this, ping. There you go. So now it is showing that I am logged into main office building. So if I click here, just to show you, this is main office building. Its IP is 231.56.165. So if I click here, 231.56.165, which is our main office, and then we are going to be pinged branch office IP, which is this one, but we are pinging the private IP, which is 151. So that is 151. All right, so the deployment was successful. Now what we need to do is we need to clean up. We'll exit out. Close this. All right, so that's it. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and clean out the whole deployment. One more thing, maybe I should show you some monitoring here. Monitoring wasn't enabled, I think. Oh, there you go. So you can see network in byte, out, packets, data write, CPU utilization. I think we worked more on the branch office, so let's see if we can get some more detail on the branch. CPU credit usage. All right, guys, so that's about it. The lab is finished. As it's to recap, we created 2 VPCs, different subnets, different zones, and then we installed a VPN gateway here. We installed a customer gateway. We installed OpenSwan, and we managed the IPsec from the OpenSwan tunneling to connect to this machine that is a main office branch, and then we basically propagate the main office branch network, and then we connect from EC2. We pinged it from this machine to this machine. All right, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to like. Till next time, have a great day.